Yo, what's going on, you guys? This is KG Presents back at with another video, and today I'm here with some fantasy football sleepers that I think you should add this fantasy football season. Fantasy football is right around the corner, and hopefully these players can help lead your way into becoming the fantasy football champion this season. The first player we'll be chatting about is Justin Herbert. Just looking at the numbers, in 3 years with the Chargers, Justin has finished 9th in total fantasy points despite not playing 1 week as a rookie. He was 2nd in 2021 and 11th this past season, where he cracked a rib all the way back in week 2. Even without any context about how the offense was constructed or how the injury lingered and affected him throwing the ball last year, if he just has the 48.2 points he's at least added as a runner in each of his first 2 seasons, he's the number 5 quarterback in the NFL. Surely, he looks to improve upon those numbers this season. So a more well-designed offense altogether, I believe, more firepower among the receiving core without putting any pressure on Herbert to always make it happen. Look for Justin Herbert to have his best season of his young career. To get him in the 5th round after you've already filled out your 2 running backs and wide receiver slots potentially is a path I could see you taking Justin Herbert this season. Next up, we have Dulcich of the Denver Broncos. I talked about Dulcich in a recent video of mine, and I still think this philosophy applies. Dulcich, look for him to have plenty of targets this season from quarterback Russell Wilson, and look for him to improve upon his rookie season last year with an incredible sophomore season in a Denver Broncos uniform. Next up, we have Addison of the Minnesota Vikings. I believe he has the clearest path to being very productive right off the bat this season, thanks to the situation he is in and how pro-ready he is entering the league. There's a difference between looking fast on track and if you actually make defenders look slow on the field when you run routes against them. Addison doesn't lose any time getting up to speed off the line, and he routinely makes defensive backs overrun the breakpoint. His ability to make every route look the same during straight stems, then give them false information and create separation when he's actually ready to commit should translate fairly quickly. At around 2.8 yards per route each of the past 2 seasons in 2 different power conferences as part of different offensive systems, I feel very good about his game translating to the pro level either way. Look for him to very good this season for the Minnesota Vikings, and very welly I think he should beat his ADP. Next up, we have Ridley. I don't think people realize how good he was when he was part of a functioning NFL offense. I know it's been a while because he only played 5 games in 2021 before stepping away from football due to mental health, and then was suspended all of last season for violating the league's gambling policy. But if you go back to 2020, he caught 90 passes for nearly 1,400 yards and 9 touchdowns across 15 games that season. With Julio Jones being in and out of the lineup that year, Ridley stepped up as the number 1 option and delivered in so many spots for a Falcons team that otherwise had very little going for it. Just listening to him talk about how happy he is to be back in the NFL, his mentality going into 23 has me very excited, and I think you should be too. We've already seen some clips of him looking great, and he's got a quarterback capable of delivering the ball to him at any spot on the field. Look for him to be having a very good season, and he surely will beat his ADP. Last but not least, we have Jerome Ford of the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, if you can get Nick Chubb in the mid to late 1st round, that's an investment I'd be happy to make, as he surely is going to have a great season for him. However, we're here to talk about Jerome Ford, not Nick Chubb. The sample size for Ford on offense is fairly limited, only handling 8 carries for 12 yards and not seeing any targets in the past game as a rookie. However, not only was that second to only Nick Chubb last season, he also handled kick return duties and finished 6th league-wide with an average of 24.1 yards per attempt. So I wouldn't say that the coaching staff doesn't trust him, but rather they had 3 backs ready who were proven, and Ford wasn't fully proven yet. Also, there's still the fact that Kareem Hunt was Cleveland's primary option on 3rd downs. However, Ford will probably see more opportunities to catch the ball rather than being locked in protection this season. So that alone is easily worth taking him ahead of his ADP, and if Chubb was to miss an extended stretch in his career this season, you hit the jackpot, as Jerome Ford surely will break out. That's all for today's video. Hopefully you can draft these fantasy football players this season, and hopefully all of them do very well and lead you to winning a fantasy football championship.